Good morning, and welcome to the Java Buzz Morning Show. It is May 31st,
It
and
is.
can you believe it? It's the end of the month.
I know. How'd that happen? So quick.
I went to sleep, and it's gone.
Yeah.
Gone.
And the month went by so quickly.
It surely did. And,
Oh, man.
life just seems to be going by a whole lot faster. The older you get, time flies. When you're younger, you
I
feel like
know.
it's never going to end.
My husband and I were just talking about that.
Oh, yeah.
Do you ever think about how quickly time's going by? I was like, yes. Every night before I go to bed, I'm like, oh, gosh, another day? Oh, that goes by fast.
Yeah.
And when you're younger, you can't wait to be older and be an adult and all that.
Yep.
Perspectives, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, when you're younger, you want instant gratification for everything. And so time seems to slow down. And when I guess when you're older, you don't expect a whole lot. And, all you're doing is you're going to work and take care of the household and you're busy doing stuff. So I think that might be it right there, is because we're not paying attention to the time as far as the day, throughout the daily thing, because we're worried about the time for work and school and whatever else you're doing, that you're not focused on the actual day itself, just on what your goals are. And so I guess when you stay busy, you just don't have enough time of the day to do
it. It just goes by. Yeah, it goes by so fast. And next thing you know, you're going to bed at night and it's already, that day's gone.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And you're counting your days. When you get older, you're like, I don't have as much time left.
Right.
That I've already had,
Exactly.
And you want to fill that time up better, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess that's why they say slow down, smell the roses.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I got my new coffee mug. So this is one side of it. It's really pretty. It's like a ceramic mug. And then on the front, it says Arizona.
Ooh, I like it.
Real pretty. Nice and big. Look at the size of this bad boy.
That is big. I think next week I'll use my Stein my mom got me. She went to, so on the other end of Kentucky, they built Noah's Ark. But they also have the Creation Museum. Well, in the Creation Museum, she was trying to find me something to bring back. And so she brought me back this thing with dragons on it. And it's got a whole array of dragons on around it. And then on the inside, it has all of the different names for dragons. And it's kind of cool. So
that's neat.
Maybe I'll use that one next week.
Yeah. Got to bring out the big mugs.
Yeah. But this one, I just have my coffee as my love language because everybody knows it is.
I like that. Nice. So what's new? What else is new?
Not a whole lot. Just Kevin came home the other day. He's on his break, and I've just been working, trying to keep things going. Yeah. And that's about it. A lot of things Master Suarez and I are going to start getting back at it.
Oh, nice.
Thank goodness. We were ready. He texted me the other day. He goes through these lulls where, well, he's had a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
So he was preoccupied with that, and rightfully so. And so now he's back in a good headspace where he can say, hey, we need to start at least once a week. I'm like, yeah, absolutely, for the both of us. And, I'm still doing some training on the weekends, but it's mainly just been work and taking care of the house and picking up the hubby when he's around.
Good morning, Lonnie. Yeah, I know it's you kind of get into the flow of things, and that's what you do every day.
Yeah.
But, well, that's good about your training. I know I struggle with the training too. I really haven't found a place I want to go to. I don't want to start some whole system from the beginning thing. And my system was very specific to a certain instructor, his system, and he's not around. And
well, that's me, Master Suarez.
I've been taking online this on Saturdays, which is really good. So as long as if I can take something, keep me keep me engaged. I do go to the gym and I do other workouts, but with martial arts, I'm always like, I prefer to do it with somebody in a group.
Yeah.
That's just how I do better.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping maybe tomorrow I can get Kevin to do a little practicing with me.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. He's hard to train with sometimes.
I mean, I can train with my husband, and we do on a rare occasion. But he's, it's just different husband and wife deal. Is
Yeah.
a little different than.
Yeah. Well, he's one of those, he's trained judo, and so he reacts, and I don't think he's ever really worked in a controlled environment. Everything was just grab you and throw you type thing. So he tends to react more than just go through the flow, just to get the warm up going. And especially, and he doesn't know anything about eskrima and or Kung Fu Sansu, so it's like, okay, you're gonna have to chill the hell out just for a second. Slow your roll there, bro.
Funny.
Did Daddy lock you out of the room?
Yeah. Hi, Kelly. Good morning.
Yeah.
Just chit-chatting, our usual morning, what's going on discussions. It's getting hot in Tucson. It's up to hundreds now.
Woohoo.
So it's still nice in the evenings, though. Like, we were out and it was about 7 o'clock or whatever, and it's really pleasant outside in the evenings. It's just that 100 degrees, like in the middle of the day kind of thing. But the mornings are pleasant, the evenings are pleasant. So it's not like you're inundated with 100 degrees from the minute you get up till you go to bed. It fluctuates, so.
Right. Well, it's been like 69, 70 here.
Wow.
And you can feel the humidity come on. But my office, I try and keep it comfortable for the both of us because I can't handle a lot of cold stuff. It just chills me right to the bone. And it's very uncomfortable for me. So if I start getting chilled, if I go outside, I'm like, okay, I'm defrosting. So yesterday, me and one of my officers, we had to go put a lock on something. And I got in the car and I said, just give me a second here because it was warm inside the car. So if it was 69 outside, it was probably about 75, 80 in the inside of the car. And I was like, just give me a second.
Yeah,
it was like a lizard soaking up. He goes, I'm dying. I'm like, okay, hold on. I'll put the hair on, but I turned down the windows and went on about my way. But I'm like a lizard. I have to, get out in the sun just so I can thrive a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Well, good.
But
what else is going on? I'll be out of town a little bit. I have some, I need to let you know about my work schedule.
Okay.
I got to look at that. I have a couple of trips I have to make coming up.
Cool. So, I'll be on the 26th through the 30th. I'll be in Utah visiting my daughter.
Okay, that's right. That's coming up.
So that weekend, if maybe Rusty might want to come in and you guys use Be Live or whatever, but
yeah, I'll have to see. I think I'm around then.
We're hoping Rusty will be back by next month.
Yeah. I know next week I'll be here. I don't know about the Friday though. I got to check that.
Okay.
I think I am. I think next week's good. So anyway, always lots of things going on. Summertime.
Yeah.
To do. So
that's all right. Just send me your schedule. We'll do what we got to do.
Yeah. I'm going to see a couple of my sons who live in Florida. I'm going to see them in a couple of weeks. So we're going to meet up in Atlanta just for something different.
Atlanta. My brother lives out that way. He lives in Georgietta Marietta. Yeah, he lives out that way.
Yeah. So we figure we go somewhere none of us have ever really been. more on their side of things. I usually make them come to the West Coast, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, that gets long for them to
Yeah.
always go to the West Coast from Florida.
Right.
So we will meet somewhere else instead.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I told my daughter, I said, we don't need to do anything grandiose. So I'm only going to be there 4 days. I wish I could be there longer. Usually I spend almost 2 weeks with her, but with Kevin being on the road and stuff, I can't have him off for very long. There might be a chance that he might be able to have an opportunity to stay home. So we're working that out, which will make life easier for me.
Yeah.
Then I'll have my partner here to help me do things.
Yeah, I was going to say, who watches the dogs if neither of you is around?
Yeah, exactly.
So
And yeah, and so I told her, I says, I don't want to do a bunch of stuff. I just want to spend quality time because I haven't seen her in 3 years. That's a long time for me to go without seeing my kid.
Yeah.
I'm jonesing over here.
I know. I would be too. That's tough.
It is rough, and we don't talk every day or anything like that because she's working.
Yeah.
She's young. She's doing her life. And so it's like, okay, mommy needs a fix. I need to get my Kylie Bear hugs in.
Yeah.
So I'm ready.
Awesome.
So what's going on out there with everybody else? You guys have any news coming up? You guys have any like training stuff that you're doing? Feel free to let us know. We'll air it out there. You guys have any events or anything like that? We'll put it out there.
Yeah.
The only thing that I got going, it's still a while out. It's back in October, is the Joe Louis Fighting Systems Conference. I have that. And anything else that pops up in between that, I'll let y'all know and I'll keep y'all updated. And anybody out there who wants to join in, if you guys go to the joelouisassociation.com, there's a registration form from the 10th. Yeah, to the 10th to the 13th of October in Virginia Beach at the Doubletree by Hilton. We will be having our Joe Louis Fighting Systems Conference for 2024. And we're going to have a variety of people coming in, especially all the Joe Louis instructors. They're nationwide. So I'm sure you can find somebody in your city to train with. We're going to have, of course, Kathy Long will be there. And then we have Chuck Norris's Taekwondo systems or Tang Soo Do systems. Danny Lane, his right-hand man, is going to be coming out. He's going to be teaching some tactics and stuff like that. So he's a former law enforcement, retired. He's a former Marine. I'm sure he's going to come out and try and show us some handcuff techniques, some law enforcement techniques, which is great for me. Yeah. I might bring my belt and my cuffs just to, get a little extra training in. Good morning, Deb. How you doing? Nice to see you.
Deb.
And Lonnie, Kanji Kempo World Championship in Vegas, July 20th. Awesome. So keep a lookout for that.
There's always a lot of events coming up.
Yeah. So. What's funny is that, and maybe you've noticed this too, when you're not around a lot of different martial arts stuff, it's either been Taekwondo or karate or something or Aikido. And when you start becoming friends with one person that that is Kanji Kempo, and then all of a sudden now everybody does Kanji Kempo.
Yeah.
And that's everybody that I'm friends with on Facebook is mainly, I would probably say 85% of my friends is Kanji Kempo.
Oh, funny. Yeah, it is like that. You start to connect with people too, because that's the connection. That's what the social media sees that you're interested in. So they start showing all the connections and those topics. So yeah, that's funny.
So I noticed on my Aikido people.
Yeah, on TikTok, Tang Soo Do, because I learned a Tang Soo Do system. So anyway, now there's a lot of friend requests for people in Tang Soo Do. So I'm like, okay, it doesnn't matter to me because what I do is promoting like all martial arts and all people in martial arts. So the specific styles are don't matter to me, but
Right.
it's just
Yeah.
funny. Now I'm connected to a ton of Tang Soo Do.
Exactly.
So
Yeah. All martial arts systems find connections. Absolutely. Well, the thing is that all martial arts systems has a connection. It doesn't matter what style you do. There's
it does.
always that basis,
Yeah.
and then you always find those similarities. Now, when you finally connect and you see what the other person's doing, you're like, oh, okay, well, that's this move. You guys just do it differently.
Yeah.
And that's really all it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's all the same, but different,
Yeah, exactly.
Same ideas, the same. I call it martial art concepts. And that's what I taught for a
Yes.
while. A couple of like general type martial art classes that I would teach taught martial art like concepts as opposed to a system.
Right.
When we all get grabbed by the wrist, we all have a way to get out of it. But a lot of it's based on the same thing, right? The closure of the finger and thumbs and just breaking through that, for instance. So, somebody grabs you, it's what you want to break through is where the thumb and the fingers meet, right? That's that's where you can break through these. Now, how we do that, you might do this, we might do that. I don't know, whatever it is, but it's the concept of how to break through that. That's what I've taught a lot in the past for people who are not.
It's whatever leverage point works, however you can get away, get away.
Think about what it is you're trying to accomplish and how to accomplish it. And there are many ways. It's like learning, it's like learning languages, right? There are so many ways to say the same thing, but in different languages. It's the same with martial arts. So many ways to do the same things, just in a different way.
Exactly.
So we are all connected when it comes to things like that.
Absolutely. And you can trace everybody's roots back to something.
Yeah.
If your lineage is Japanese, it's all going to go to India. So, into China, we do a white crane thing. Well, you could trace it back to China because they have whooping crane. So a lot of the whooping crane stuff that we do, especially in my style, I have the tiger style and a crane style. So because I do two different types of karate. So, when you integrate that and then you look, you're like, oh, China. But then if you go back, you'll see, oh, India had a piece of that too. So it's been trickled down from all different cultures, all different, countries. It's just, like you said, it's just different, same, but different.
Yeah. And I know people like to preserve the traditional martial arts. I just think that's very difficult to do, right?
Yeah.
They're going to change over time.
Oh, absolutely.
Because people change, times change, reasons for doing martial arts change. It's really difficult to what they say, keep the traditional. I don't want to deviate from the traditional. Well, unfortunately, you probably have by now. It's just not going to be the same as it was.
Oh, we definitely have. Well, take your kata. Everybody looks at your forms and say, well, this is the way it's supposed to be. Now, if it's an earlier form, the taekwondo is the earliest form. Now, if you're coming from General Chao, then you know what he is interpreting when he's doing his forms.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're going back as far as China and Japanese style stuff, well, the forms kind of get lost in translation. But the great thing about a form is that you can interpret it yourself, whether it be a throw, whether it be a grab, whether it be a choke. So there's so many different ways you can interpret it. And it just depends on what goes on in your head.
Yeah. I'm pouring more coffee because I have my handy coffee thing here.
Look at you.
I feel like I'm in a commercial from the 1950s. So interesting stuff about forms and martial arts.
Right.
And, that's why I always tell people, like when I do kicks, because obviously I post a lot of kick pictures.
Yeah.
Over the years. And, I've gotten the backlash like, well, that's not done right. That's not this or that's not that. And I always say, I'm not doing a certain style of kick. I'm doing an Andrea kick. So
that's right. You're doing Andrea.
It's not a Tang Soo Do kick. It's not a Taekwondo kick.
A kick is a kick is a kick. It doesn't matter.
I've done martial arts since 1989. I'm going to do my kicks however I want to do my kicks. So that's what it comes down to.
There you go. Deb said, I'm enjoying my coffee also. So what are we drinking?
I'm drinking actually Starbucks, the medium roast one today. So what about you?
And I'm doing a Dunkin' Colombian blend.
Yeah.
And what are you guys drinking out there?
Drinking out there. If you're having your coffee, yeah. What are you having?
What do you got? All right. What else is going on? Anything?
Well, both of my kids have moved recently. My son bought a house, his first house.
Oh, congratulations.
And my daughter just moved into a new apartment. So it's been a little hectic, like with
helping
getting them settled in and things like that. You drink black.
That's right.
Deb, I can't do it.
Atta girl. So, like I tell my husband, I drink it black like my soul. Okay.
That seems more convenient, right? If you go out to dinner, or you go out to breakfast, or you're at home and you just pour a cup and you don't have to worry about cream and stuff.
That's right.
But I can't. I have to lighten it. It's just, my mother drank her coffee she would call it light, back in the day. This is a good back in the day thing, but like if you went to a restaurant and you ordered a coffee, you could tell them you wanted it light, which means they would put a lot of cream in it.
Right.
For you. They would actually like make the coffee a lot of times, not just put the cream on the table or whatever.
Rebecca says, I'm a rebel.
We got a rebel here.
A rebel. That's okay. That's why we say grab your favorite cup of wake up. So it doesn't have to be coffee. It's just what we prefer.
It could be a nice glass of water. Just bring your cup with you here to the Java Buzz.
That's right. That's right. So thinking about way back, how about we do that? You ready to go back?
Yeah, let's do way back.
All right. Okay. So what do you got?
All right. So back in the day, so this is one thing that I thought of that we had in our house, and I was probably 10-ish. It was wallpaper with texture. Like it felt like felt. Does anybody know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
It was wallpaper with like a design, and the design was raised up, and it was like a felt type feeling thing. I don't know. I don't know what you call it. It was wallpaper. It was all over the living room. It was gold. I remember being gold.
Gold and maroon or burgundy, whatever they wanted to call it. Yeah.
And yeah, we had it all over the place, and it was exciting to have that. That was the in thing. I remember that. But it was bizarre. Looking back on it, I'm like, yeah, because I don't have any wallpaper on mine. Everything's painted. But I mean, there were times when wallpaper was like everything. Everybody would have wallpaper. And then I know when I bought my first house, so I got married in 88. Our first house, we put up the wallpaper border. Do you remember the borders?
Mm-hmm.
Some people still have them, but ours was like around the middle of the wall, all the way around the living room, and it had pink and blue in it. So yeah, those are some household things. Of course, permed hair was big.
Oh my goodness gracious.
My mother used to do mine, and it was so curly, and
she put the small rods in,
and it smelled terrible.
Yes.
All right. So nobody can forget that.
Oh my goodness. My mom dyed or permed my hair, and you don't perm hair that's already naturally curly and wavy.
True.
And she did mine, and I looked like a poodle. It was so bad.
I look like I can't wait. For one of our picture sessions here, I have to look for one of the pictures and this was like, actually like when I got married, I did it in perm. and it was like that. It was like this length. It was really long, but it was like crazy,
Yeah.
like
that length, but it was this short when you were done. And you got to take a curl just to try and straighten it out and boink,
yeah.
slap yourself in the head. Boink.
And then the other thing I thought of was aerobic fashions, aerobic wear, clothing, like the track suits were popular at some point, like polyesterish. I don't know if you could actually exercise in that without suffocating, but, or if you remember Jane Fonda used to do aerobic videos. I had those.
Yeah.
I had those. I did those.
We did too.
So yeah. What did you think of? Those are some of the things that I thought of back in the day. If anybody watching, think of your back in the day things.
Yeah.
And let us bring Duncan this morning. Rebecca, of course, is a rebel. So
yeah. Yeah. So back in my day when I was a teenager, we had Teen Beat, Sweet 16, Teen Bop magazines, where you could take a look at all the fab pics of the happening teen celebs back then, see what was happening up in with your favorite idols and whatnot. And
do you ever look at those people today? It's interesting. Like Leif Garrett. Leif Garrett was big when I was like, who were the other ones that were?
Oh, the Lowe brothers, the Estevez brothers.
Well, yours are different than mine because we're about 10 years apart, 11 years apart.
Yeah.
So the Hardy Boys guys.
Oh, the Cassidy kids. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Here's another thing. So we had trading cards for the Partridge Family. Do you know what the Partridge Family show is?
I remember those.
I used to love that show. We had actually trading cards, a lot of them. And we would go out and meet up and hang out and trade cards with each other. Oh, do you have this one or that one? Yeah.
So kids out there, that's like our Pokemon cards. Okay.
The Partridge Family.
She had boy bands.
Definitely depends on your generation.
Yeah.
Oh, the posters. Yeah, Deb, you would buy those magazines just for the posters.
Oh yeah. I mean, I had one wall that's just dedicated to nothing but all of my poster guys.
That's funny.
Yeah, Donny Osmond shared her birthday. Nice.
I just saw Donny Osmond in Las Vegas like a year ago or whatever, and he is so great. He puts on a wonderful show, and he's just an awesome, awesome person too. He's had his ups and downs.
Yep.
But yeah.
So my favorite posters though were not always just the celebrity guys. I had a bunch of Duran Duran stuff. I was a big Duran Duran and AHA listener, but there was this series of posters called American Male, and they would have a bunch of guys, topless with their football, depending on what the theme was. So I had a football team. I had a windsurfer, of course, being a California girl, I had my windsurfer, as long as they were just sitting there looking pretty with no shirt on, it was fine. So I had one side with all of that. Then I had my band, and then I had my celebrities. So
I don't remember actually hanging up any posters at all. I was like very neat freak as a kid, and I did not have a lot of. Maybe my mom would let me hang them up. I can't remember, but anyway.
She had black light for psychedelic. Oh yeah, remember those? Yeah. Those were pretty awesome.
They also had felt on them sometimes.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
I guess felt was big back in the day.
That's right. So fun. So many, there's so many great memories of stuff, and that, to get my magazines and stuff, I would get out of school. I'd go home, check in really quick, and then I get back on my bike and go down to the 7-Eleven, and I go get my magazine and I would either get a Pepsi or whatever, and then read. I always rode my bike with no hands. So I look at my magazine while I'm riding my bike back to the house.
So funny.
Yeah.
Fuzzy stickers.
Huh?
Fuzzy feet stickers, Deb said.
Fuzzy feet stickers. I don't know if I remember those. Oh, I remember foot stickers, but I don't know if they were fuzzy. But yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a little time warp, and because we went back in the day, now we're going to go back in history and see what happened on this day. All right. So what do you got?
All right. So looking back, 1859, Big Ben rings out over London for the first time.
Woo!
The famous clock tower known as Big Ben, located at the top of the 320-foot high Elizabeth Tower, rings out over the Houses of Parliament in Westminster, London for the first time on May 31st, 1859. After a fire destroyed much of the Palace of Westminster, the headquarters of the British Parliament, in October 1834, a standout feature of the design for the new palace was a large clock atop the tower. The royal astronomer, Sir George Airy, wanted the clock to have pinpoint accuracy, including twice-a-day checks with the Royal Greenwich Observatory. While many clockmakers dismissed this goal as impossible, we all know nothing's impossible, right?
Right.
Airy counted on the help of Edmund Beckett Denison, a formidable barrister known for his expertise in the science of measuring time. The name Big Ben originally just applied to the bell, but later came to refer to the clock itself. So there's a lot of story about it, obviously, behind it, but yeah.
Right.
There you go. Back in history, Big Ben.
There you go. All right. In 1929, on this day, Ford Motor Company signs an agreement with the Soviet Union. After 2 years of exploratory visits of friendly negotiations, Ford Motor Company signs a landmark agreement to produce cars in the Soviet Union on May 31st, 1929. The Soviet Union, which is 1928 and only 20,000 cars in a single truck factory, was eager to join the ranks of automotive production. And Ford, with its focus on engineering and manufacturing methods, was a natural choice to help. The always independent-minded Henry Ford was strongly in favor of his free market company doing business with communist countries. An article published in May 1929, the New York Times quoted Ford as saying, "No matter where industry prospers, whether it's in India or China or Russia, all the world is bound to catch some good from it." So there you go.
History is a good thing.
Yeah. All right. So, all right. So,
by the way, I've never been good at history. History is often in trivia as well, and I'm not good at trivia. So, just like an FYI out there.
The thing is,
I think more about history now in my life, by traveling and seeing different things. Like I don't feel like I learned anything about history. So,
well, you got to find the right one that's going to, spark that memory. Oh yeah, I remember that. That's this, that, and the other thing. But
yeah,
I used to play Trivia Pursuit all the time. We were always playing games.
Yeah,
always playing games and stuff like that.
Yeah. Deb, we learn a lot from history. We do. So
yes, we do.
We need to keep and preserve our history.
That's right. So during this time, we also like to play a little game. I like music a lot, and so does Andrea. And as she says, she's not good at at trivia. But last week
I was.
Cleared the board.
You know what's funny, Jane? So my daughter came over. She's a piano player. She's a piano teacher. She came over and she had a music book and she said, "All right, let's play a game." She said it was kind of like Name That Tune. She's like, I'm going to play part of the song and you have to tell me the name of the song. I did pretty good because I think she was playing like in the time period where I knew a lot of different songs and things, right. But it was really funny. My husband and I trying to think about it. And I'm sitting there like trying to hum the song, like like I couldn't think of the words, and my husband's like, "Do you have to do that out loud? I can't think of the name of the song when you're humming like that." So I was like, "All right." And then in my head, I'm trying to hum, so he can come up on the chorus part, which is often the name of the song, and
Right.
the chorus part. So
Yeah,
it was
I
really
love
cool.
that they've got the new Name That Tune with Jane Krakowski, and then I like to watch What's That Lyric or finish the lyric, or Don't Forget the Lyrics. That's what it is. With Beanie Nash.
I have to step away for one quick second, but I'll be right back.
Okay. So there's a lot of fun, different music type game shows that you can watch, but I've just always been really involved with music. I used to play guitar. I don't really play that much anymore, but I just love music. I'm just one of those that I come home, change out of my work clothes, get on something else, and while I'm cleaning house, I'll put on whatever, iHeartRadio or Pandora, just whatever I feel like. So,
yeah.
All right. So
I like guitar as well, as you know. But again, just kind of like how I've made martial art my own thing over time. I do the same thing with music. Like I learned how to play guitar. I know chords. Can't really read music, so I always thought, well, if I can't read the music of songs that exist, I'll just create my own. And so I've written so many songs.
Yeah.
I have a whole thing of songs I've written myself because, whatever your taste in music, or even if you want to play an instrument, this is just a little motivational thing. Just, do it. Just
absolutely
just do it for you. Don't worry about it.
That's right. Just let it flow. All right. So let's play the game. It's called What's That Song? Okay. So I'm going to give you the lyrics of a song, and you tell me what is the missing word. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And I'm going to give you multiple choices. So this one is from the 1960s, and it's the Beatles. So here we go. Hey, Jude, don't make it bad. Take a sad song and make it what? Good, strong, right, or better.
I know it.
She knows it. She knows it. So what do y'all think out there? I'm going to start putting a time clock up there. Kelly and Dee say better. And the answer is, Andrea?
Better.
Better is the answer. All right.
It's my husband. My husband's middle name is Jude.
Is it? That's awesome. All right. 1960s, The Temptations. I got sunshine on a cloudy day. When it's cold outside, I got the what?
I got it.
Vibes, warmest way, happy days, or month of May. So what do you think out there?
These are kind of easy ones for me. So
well, there you go.
You're in the right song era.
Right genre. Kelly says month of May. And Dee says month of May. Rebecca says month of May. What do you say?
Month of May.
And it is the month of May. All right. We're on a roll.
I think this is easier than the names of the songs. I can't remember the names of songs, but I can remember lyrics better.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. We're staying with the 1960s theme, and we're with Miss Aretha Franklin, the woman herself. So RESPECT, find out what it blank to me. Is it gives, is, be, or means? So what's the answer?
Got it.
All right.
Yeah, Kelly agrees. Lyrics.
All right. What do we got out there? Come on, ladies. Means to me.
Rebecca.
Take care of me. So we have means to me, and we have take care of me. Do we have anything else out there?
I go with means to me.
Deb says means, and Andrea says means. And yes, the answer is what it means to me. RESPECT. All right. Good job, guys. All right. Final question. James Brown. I feel nice, like sugar and is it rice? Is it spice? Is it twice? Or is it lice?
If it's lice, I'll never listen to that song again.
Ever again.
Kelly comes in with spice.
Spice. Rebecca comes in with spice.
Yeah.
Come on, Deb, what you got?
Definitely spice.
Spice. All right. That's right. I feel nice, like sugar and spice now. I feel good. All right. Good job, guys.
You know that I would now.
You know, it's funny is what's nice. What's funny is that you're saying, you know, if it's lice, you know, it'd be messed up. It's kind of like, what's that song from Michael Jackson where everybody thinks he's saying something, come whatever the thing was.
Yeah.
And what he's saying through that is not what anybody thought. They thought it was some kind of African, you know, chant or whatever. And all he was saying was, I'm going to sing my song and I'm not going to stop. Going to sing my song. I'm not going to stop. Going to sing my song. I'm not gonna stop. And everybody
didn't know that. I didn't know what that was.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. I can't remember the name of that song.
Anyway. Kelly, I can't always name the singer or song. Yeah, I'm the same.
Yep. Oh, my head plays in songs, and it's funny because people will talk to me and they'll trigger a word, and in my head, the radio's playing, and and I'll start singing out of nowhere. And morning, Cindy, and everybody looking at me like, "What's your problem? You're crazy." I'm crazy.
You're crazy.
I'm crazy, lady. Crazy.
All right.
All right. So we're going to go to our next portion of it where we're going to get inspired. So let's get inspired. Yeah, earworms. All right. So let's get back up here. Here's Andrea's quote. Boom. Hey, we don't have to move for this one.
Yeah. Get up with the right mindset and your day will be filled with success and joy. So this is one of my quotes that I created because I have, as you can see, TikTok. You can find me on TikTok at Andrea Harkins and also at the Martial Arts Woman. I have 2 TikToks. But anyway, so this one, it's always based on my life, right? I wake up in the morning and I'm grumpy and I'm like, whatever. I don't feel like doing whatever. And then I talk to myself, and that's where these quotes come from. So get up with the right mindset. I just remind myself how you start your day, what you feel and do and say to yourself when you get up in the morning is going to be the track that your day goes on. So if you wake up and you're grumpy, take a time to take a time. I don't know where I got that. Take time to reassess where you are, why you're there, you know, why you have this grumpy mindset or whatever it is that's going on. And remind yourself that to go forward and to have a successful and productive day, you need to have the right mindset. You need to be ready for success. Yeah, Deb, I'm grumpy till I have coffee too. But if I don't have coffee, forget it. I'm really grumpy. But, you know, just remind yourself in the morning that today is going to be a good day. Use some affirmations. I'm really big on the affirmations because I do talk to myself, like especially if I wake up in a bad mood or I'm worried about something or I'm focused on something negative. I just remind myself today's going to be a good day. We talked earlier, Jane and I, life is short. As you get older, you know, I'm 61 right now, and time really is really precious to me at this point in my life. And so I have to remind myself, It's not worth worrying. It's not worth being negative. Like that just sucks time from you.
Mm-hmm.
You want your time to be filled with joy. You want your time to be filled with personal success or achievement or whatever is important to you, whatever it is. You want your time to be filled with that. So, you know, you have to remind yourself. You have to remind yourself over and over. I work a full-time job. Sometimes it's stressful, but I just think to myself, you know what? I'm not letting the stress affect me. I have to let it go because, you know, my life is too short. I don't want to spend my time with the focus on the wrong things. So just get up with the right mindset. And if you don't, take time to adjust the mindset in the morning. Do something that makes you feel better. Maybe it's 5 minutes of meditation. Maybe it's just watching something funny for 5 minutes on, you know, on Netflix or just, you know, online or something that's funny or something that's uplifting, you know, finding a good quote to focus on for the day. So you can do it, right? Everybody, we can focus on making our day better and getting up with the right mindset. And if we don't have that mindset, we need to adjust it in the morning so that we can have a day that's filled with the things that are really important to us and not focusing on the negative. So
that's right. So we call it in our house sweetening up. So if you're having a bad day or whatever, you need to take a time out and go sweeten up. And you need to find whatever it's going to take to get that grumpy mood off, whether it be a cup of coffee, rather it be, you know, just taking time just to breathe. And, you know, so sometimes the debate, really what we need to do is that if you're just feeling so bogged down with whatever is weighing you down, if you just sit, relax, and just breathe, find some kind of way to meditate to kind of help push that through there, you know. Sometimes it's hard to shake bad vibes when you're not feeling your best, but at the same time, when you try to meditate, find that thing that's going to bring a joy into your life. It's easy to get away. It's easy to get away from. Now, stresses of life, like Cindy was saying, stress is literally a killer. It takes a toll. It takes a toll on your body that you literally cannot see, and that's exactly right. I mean, you're always going to have things in the back of your head, but you've got to find something that's going to help release all of that. And you need to get up, rather it be, you know, focus on something else. Like the dogs in the morning, they're my focus in the morning. Now they aggravate me because sometimes they crawl all over me and stuff, and I'm not ready for that in the morning, but at the same time, I don't focus on the fact that they're stepping all over me and they're wanting my attention. They want to go outside and go pee. And I know that. But I also look at them and say, it's a cute way for them to wake me up in the morning. It's their personality shining through. And so if I focus on the negative versus the positive, then I've already defeated my morning. So you need some way to focus on something better. And a lot of people find it's just easier to focus on the negative and not so much the positive. But then again, when you focus on the negative, your whole day is going to go to junk. You know, you're not going to be joyful. You're not going to have a successful day. It doesn't have to be a successful career or whatever. It just has to be that day, right? Because that's what we're working on. So find something to focus on that is more productive, more positive, no matter how you got to do it. If you got to meditate in the morning, if you got to look at your dog or your cat, whatever the case may be, sit on the end of your bed and just breathe. You know, just take those 30 seconds, 5 minutes, however long you need to sweeten up. And
that's good. I like the sweeten up.
Yeah.
It's really good.
And the kids sometimes didn't like it because I'm like, you guys want some sugar? Here, go sweeten up. You're weird, Mom. Yeah, well, that's okay. You love me anyway. So here's mine. If you can't be kind, be quiet. I think about this a lot this is one of my things. The only time I am unkind is when people are unkind to me. But you know, a lot of things happen in people's situations, and you don't know what these people are going through. Um, and whether they're going through something or they're not, maybe they're doing something that you think is different. Maybe they're doing something hard or putting a desk together or whatever the case may be. These people are working through something and they're doing it on their own. They may not be asking for help. They may not be doing, things quite the way that you would do it. But if you can't say something nice or constructive, leave it alone. Leave them alone. Be quiet. You don't have to add your 2 cents in every situation that comes in. And I think this is where I kind of get annoyed with social media sometimes. Yes, it's a social platform. Yes, it's out there for everybody to see. But do you have to tell people stuff all the time? I mean, is it really our job to be telling people that, you're doing this wrong or you're doing that wrong? I'm a very big believer in letting people be who they are and what they're going to do. If you're not saying anything constructive and uplifting, leave them alone. If you're not there to help, leave them alone. Keep your mouth out of it. People don't always need negative feedback from people. They need positive feedback. People grow better, kind of like plants. If you feed a plant water, it's going to grow, it's going to flourish. If you take care of it, if you talk to it, vibes come off of it and stuff. People are the same way. They thrive off of good vibes and constructive criticism. There might be something that might not be quite, but give them something constructive and nice. Say, hey, I really like the way that you're doing that, but have you thought about maybe doing it this way? There's ways to talk to people and help them out without putting them down. So if you can't have a good mindset and make people flourish or help them along with something, then it's best just to not say anything at all. And that's what I would prefer. Everybody does things different. Everybody's doing things in their own time. And we have to trust that people are going to get things done. At work, it's going to be different. But that still doesn't mean that you have to be unkind to people. If somebody's doing something that's not right, then say, hey, can we look at it from this point of view? Or, hey, do you mind if we have a deadline? Can we try and make this deadline as best we can? Find a constructive way to let people know things without tearing them down, without making them feel like junk. So I've always said this. If you can't be kind, then be quiet. Andrea?
Yeah, this is such a good reminder that, you have to remember when, for instance, when people post on social media, they post things. Maybe they post something of them doing a martial art thing or a kick or just, something martial art related, maybe they post. They're not asking for you to review and critique what they're doing. Most of the time. Sometimes somebody will say, hey, I did this. What do you all think? Okay. Then you give opinions and hopefully in a positive manner, your suggestions. But, you just see something on there. There's no requirement that you have to critique other people constantly, which a lot of people feel like, oh, well, if you put a picture on there, then, I'm just going to tell you your foot's not in the right thing and you're not doing this or that, or you need to be doing this, or you're not whatever, and you get all this negative stuff. It's like, you never asked for somebody's opinion. You're just posting something you want to share, and that's okay. But on social media, it's really difficult for people to be people just be kind. They want to critique and tear apart what other people are doing, especially if they're not confident. Yeah, or argue with you or whatnot. I just got to the point where if somebody's going to argue with me, I just block them, especially if it's on my page. That's what always killed me, is like, this is Andrea Harkins' Facebook page. I post whatever I want here because it's me, and then people come on there and like, well, this is not right, or you shouldn't, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, you know what, block. I'm not asking you for your opinion. If you want to be here and be inspired and be positive, then this is the place for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, people aren't asking for your opinions. You can be quiet and just review something.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that I've learned, and this is from like the business world, right, from a leadership perspective, is that feedback is good. Feedback is information. Feedback should be, if somebody asks for feedback, it should be a factual thing, based on some kind of fact, not just that you don't like it or you don't think that they should be doing something that way. So criticism, in my mind, is not feedback. It doesn't serve any purpose. It's just a negative. It's just a negative thing. So, yeah, I mean, you can always be kind to someone. You don't have to give negative feedback. You don't have to give criticism. And if you feel like you have some negative criticism or whatever, just zip it. Who cares? You don't need to share it. Nobody wants to hear it. Nobody cares. You're just trying to boost yourself up or whatever it is. Social media is like just prime for all this kind of stuff, right? You have to really find the right place on social media and create your own Facebook pages and places where it's a positive environment. And to just go ahead and block people who are like arguing with you over things or want to pick apart what you're doing because,
I found that
right either.
Pick apart things you want to try and feel good about themselves. So if they can find something negative about you, well, then they could say, well, I'm doing this then, and like we said before, when we're posting things on social media about our martial arts stuff, like we've said not too long ago, everybody does things differently. Every style does things differently. They have different setups. They have different kicks. A kick is a kick is a kick. It doesn't matter what it looks like. As long as you're not breaking your foot in the process, it is what it is.
Yeah. And what's your purpose for posting? Like my purpose for posting kicks have nothing to do with kicks, honestly.
Yeah.
It has to do with, hey, no matter what age you are, you can do martial arts. What are your skills and talents? What are you good at? I can do kicks.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% perfect at kicks. I just do what I like. I have a little bit of height still in my kick. So that's always inspiring to other people. Like, oh, wow, she can do these kicks. If she can do that, maybe I can do these things that I want to do.
Well, for us, it's age stuff, because how many women of your age can kick that high, unless you're Cynthia Rothrock, but she's been flexible forever, and she stays
every day. I mean, she trains every day. That's her life. I don't.
Exactly.
I train a couple hours a week.
Right. I've gained weight, and my hips don't work the same way that they used to, and so my kicks aren't that high. But the thing is that Cindy goes, "Not me. You girls are awesome." I don't kick that high anymore because I'm not as flexible. I've never been that flexible. And in reality, to be honest, kicks that high don't really do anything for you. You lose a lot of your power and stuff.
You're not going to use those in reality. Yeah. Like if you're in a situation and a good kick to the shin, the groin, like, a punch to the groin, that's the stuff that's going to work. High kicks don't mean anything, but they're kind of artistic. That's how I see it. It's like art.
Hips don't lie. That's for sure.
And I definitely don't kick as high today as I did 10 years ago. And I do post a lot of photos of me over the past 11 years.
Right.
So, but I post them for that reason, just to inspire people. It's not about the kick. So I don't need your negative criticism about your knee is not, your toes are not pointing in the right direction. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah. And for me, I'm a grandma. So, I'm doing nunchucks for my grandson. And that was just, when I made that reel, that was a mistake. I wasn't meaning for it to be a reel. I was just showing Keegan what I can do with the nunchucks, and then my thing is my swords, so I throw a little thing out there with that. And I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. I I just do what I feel like I can do. And I think it's inspiring for other women of our age,
Exactly.
to see that it doesn't matter how old you are. Martial arts is for everybody. And it doesn't, you just got to find the one that fits you and stuff. And everybody's negative comments needs to just, if you can't be nice, just shut up.
It fits right in what you were saying. It's just, what's that person's intent? If they're just doing something to be positive and share something, you don't need to jump in with your negative comments. I mean, just let it go.
I think I was telling my dad this the other day, people go through so many different things in life. And everybody's got an opinion about what you should do. And not just martial arts, but just things in general.
Yeah.
Everybody's got an opinion about what you should do. But the thing is that everybody's got an opinion, but nobody's doing anything to help. And if you're not giving anything constructive to say to help that person, then why are you saying anything at all?
Right.
Well, you're just going to tear me down. Oh, well, you guys, if your finances were this way, you could do that. Well, you know what? Maybe, but that's just not the way life tossed at me. I got certain, but I'm working on it. I'm not now, but I'm just saying, instead of tearing me down about what I did wrong, how about helping me fix what I'm doing? Help people fix things. Tearing them down doesn't help fix the problem. All it does is make the person feel worse about what they did or how they did it or the decision that they made. It's just better that if you're going to help. If you're not, be quiet and let them handle things on their own then.
Yeah. And today is today, and you're always moving forward. Stop looking, we don't need to look back at the things that we didn't do, that we wish we did, or regrets, or blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
One example I wanted to bring up, there's a comedian, her name is Leanne Morgan. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've ever seen her. She's very funny. She's a woman. She talks a lot about being a mother. And at age 57, she's just made it out onto the world circuit of comedy. You know what I mean? She's just now become famous, and she's been doing comedy for 20 plus years.
Yep.
She got to the point where she thought, and she's 57 now or 58, she thought to herself, you know what, it's just not working for me. I guess I am not going to make it, because I've been doing this for 22 years and I'm still in these little dinky little comedy places that don't mean anything to me. They don't bring me, full success or whatever. She hired some guy to help her do some marketing. He picked one clip of something that she did and he put it out on social media, and it went viral. And after it went viral, everybody started calling her. We want you to be on our show. We want you to do this. We want you to do a tour. She needed an agent. She asked someone, a friend of hers, she goes, I need it. And she has an accent. She's very Southernish. I don't know how to describe her accent. It's not Southern. But anyway, she's like, I needed an agent. And so nobody wanted to be my agent because they don't know me. And so I went to my friend and I said, I need an agent. And he's like, all right, I'll do you a favor. I'll hook you up with this agent. She's like, and the agent took me in, but he didn't really want to, because he's like, this lady's old and whatever. But he took her in, and all of a sudden she was just gaining popularity, gaining popularity. And they booked her for a 50-city tour, which sold out.
Wow.
And they had to add another 50 cities. So she did a 100-city tour. This all happened to her literally in the past year. And she's been doing comedy her entire life, waiting for a breakthrough. Never happened.
Persistence pays off.
Yeah. There she is now at 57, 58. Look her up, Leanne Morgan. She's very funny. She's a very clean humor, but it's about life. She's about life, womanhood, family. She's just really funny.
I'll check it out.
The point I'm trying to make is, I'm sure she's had her setbacks over the years.
Sure.
I'm sure people have told her, you're not going to get anywhere. You're not doing the right kind of comedy. You're getting too old. You're this or that. I'm sure she's heard it all. But she just stuck with it. And she thought to herself, I'm going to give it one last shot, and I'm going to give it a really good shot. I'm going to hire a couple of people to see if they can help me. She is very funny, Kelly. So you know, now she's got her breakthrough. Now she's got 2 shows on Netflix. Now
Does
she's
she
got
wear long, flowy,
Yes.
like sundress type? Okay, I've seen her. Yeah, she is funny.
she was nothing a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
She was nobody.
Yeah.
So, you know, that inspired me because I'm like, well, I'm 61. I can still like make it big in something.
Yeah, no, right? I still got
time. Anyway, that was a tangent, but I thought of her as we were talking about, you know, how people are going to be negative and say stupid things and whatever. Yeah. You have to have the thick skin and just like either block or like let it go. You know, maybe on occasion you'll see a comment that maybe would be helpful. Maybe it is somebody who's like, hey, you know, I have a suggestion. If you like it, this is it, you know. Otherwise, you know, keep going, keep doing your thing, and don't listen to these people.
Keep singing your song and keep doing your thing and just drive on.
Every day is a chance for new success, and I'm still going to strive for something big. I don't know what, but I'm still striving for it.
It don't matter. You'll know when you get there.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. Tangent, but anyway, here we go.
Yeah. Well, we didn't make it to our Flashback Friday. We're 10 minutes over.
Oh my gosh. Sorry.
You gotta get to work
today.
No, that's all right. Sometimes it's good. That's right. Good. Let your light shine. So with that, we're going to go ahead and bid you all adieu. We hope you have a fantastic weekend. You have any final thoughts for everybody?
Hey, don't let the naysayers get to you. Get out there, do your thing, focus on yourself, your self-improvement, your success, and you can do it. So
that's right. That's right. Get up, get coffee, and be kind and be happy. Guys, have a great weekend, and we'll see y'all next week. Bye for now.
Bye.